It's such a wonderful place. It's like, as hard as it is to remember Krishna here, in Vrindavan is that hard to forget him. Here we're just struggling and struggling. We come 7 o'clock in the morning, we see Radha Nandini Swara, we listen to the class, then we go out, and most of the day we're completely lost somewhere in the material energy. Well, once in a while we remember Krishna. You know, the time to take prasad, then Sarita Vijayajala, and we remember Krishna. But in Vrindavan, as hard as it is to remember Krishna here, that hard to forget Krishna. Everywhere you go, from some ashram, some kirtan is coming, some bhajan is going on over there, then the Nimbarkis are chanting Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Sham Sham, Radhe Radhe, and it's everywhere. And all of a sudden you see there's Kaliyagat, then you see there's, on the way down to Loy Bazaar, there's a temple called Sakshi Gopal. As you drive by in the rickshaw, suddenly you see Krishna sitting there in the temple playing his flute. Everywhere you go, everything reminds you of Krishna. Here, everything is meant to remind you of sense gratification. You just walk out the door and enjoy this, enjoy that, you know, drink this beer, eat this horrible thing we won't mention. You know. Everything is there, advertising, and all the advertising is with some pretty girl. Huh? Everything there is to make you forget about Krishna and remember enjoying your senses. But in Vrindavan, everything is meant to make you remember Krishna. And there's some special ecstasy there in Vrindavan that's just not found anywhere else. That's why devotees like to stay there. And, you know, it's like, I've been all over the world, and I see, like, you know, 7 o'clock arti in the evening. Of course, here we get some people. But most places, you know, they're playing a tape, you know, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna. Temple room's empty and pujaris waving some incense around. Even in Los Angeles, I went in and there's just, I didn't even put on the tape, it's pujaris there, and few people there taking darshan, no kirtan was going on, so then I had to find out where the kartals were hidden and kirtan. But the whole life of Vrindavan temple is this 7 o'clock arti. Even if you're completely in Maya, you know, you just come there to socialize. But you come to the temple to socialize at least, you know. Even if you're in Maya, you just come there because that's the thing. 7 o'clock. That's when I most miss being in Vrindavan. Most of the time, you know, everybody's getting me to talk about Krishna, so I don't mind. But 7 o'clock, when there's, you know, when you go in the temple room, nobody's there. You just feel, wow, yeah, that's the life. So that's why devotees like to stay. The Mangalarti, you know, Mangalarti, most temples is completely deserted. Vrindavan temple, sometimes you can't even find the place. You have to go down in the courtyard. And you come there in Kartik, and sometimes, you know, sometimes you can't even in the courtyard, you're being jostled here and there and here and there. And even when I'm being jostled like that, sometimes I go on the 7 o'clock Artik and everybody, somehow, I don't know, in Western countries we always try to avoid bumping into people. I guess there's just so many people in India, they don't mind somehow or other. So everybody's just bumping and nobody, you know, like if you actually brush somebody out, excuse me, you know, they just, you know, the big Punjabis come and just, you know. Mother Karta's always complaining, you know, all these big Punjabi ladies come and just to get darshan of the Radha shops. But even you're in the courtyard, I mean, you can imagine in front of the deities, but even in the courtyard you're getting bumped around. But then I just remember that they told Prabhupada when he built that temple, he said, who will go there? Why did you build a temple so far away? Who will go there? So when I'm there being bumped around, I just think of Prabhupada up there in the Golok looking down and seeing his temple filled with people coming to take darshan of Krishna Balaram, Radha Shyam Sundari, Gaura-Nitai. Yes?
Well, they had Thursdays in Krishna's time, Raj. They had Thursdays?
Yeah.
Weekdays of the week?
That was called Guruvar. That was named after Jupiter, who was also known as Thor. That's where Thursday comes. It was called Guruvar. Monday is Sombar, moon. So we also say Monday, Sombar. Then Tuesday is Mangalar, Like in Spanish we say martes, and that's the day of Mars. Wednesday is miércoles, that's Spanish, Mercury.
So that is days of the week. It's not a Vedic system.
Huh?
It's not a
Yeah.
Vedic system.
Yeah. You know, whenever the Panditji comes, you know, he always says, you know, such and such Titi and such bar, Guruvar, Jambudvipe, Bharatkande, Braj Kshetre, Vrindavan Stite, and Guruvar, Shukravar, Shukra is Venus, that's Björnis, Friday.
And do they, excuse me, I'm just curious, do they have a weekend? Then is there such thing as a Vedic weekend?
I've never heard of such a thing now.
Is there a particular day after the 7th that is generally a rest day?
I've never heard of such a thing. In Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada says every day is a festival. So it's Sunday every day for us.
So I think in the, I guess it's in the Bible, did God create the world in 7 days, was that?
Yeah, that's in the Bible.
The 7th day he rested, so that's kind of very much part of the biblical tradition.
Yeah.
But it's also...
I've never heard anything about any particular day of rest, although now they follow everybody else in the world, except for Dubai and all those places.
Nepal they have Sunny Ram at 7. The day after the 7.
We go to Dubai, it's Friday.
Yeah.
I always have to plan my trip so that I'm there for their weekend. It's Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Prabhuji. I was talking to one of my friends and I was saying how wonderful it would be to go to Vrindavan one day, maybe the sooner the better. And he said, don't rush, because if you're not purified enough, then you might start committing offenses straight away, and then Vrindavan will not be so merciful to you.
You don't get pure well before you go to the hospital. You go there sick. It's not that you don't wash your laundry before you take it to the laundromat. We go to Vrindavan and get purified. At one time they said, oh Prabhupada, this Vrindavan festival, Mayapur Vrindavan festival, it costs so much money, and devotees are away from their preaching and for 1 month, and it costs so much money to fly there. Prabhupada said, you eat every day, you spend money for that. So he put going to Vrindavan on the level of eating. So we don't think, oh, that I have to become purified before I go to Vrindavan. We go to Vrindavan to become purified. Because like people say, I'm too fallen to live in the temple. Some new bhakti comes, oh Prabhu, I can't stay, I'm too fallen. If you said, well, I'm seeing Krishna everywhere, then go everywhere you want. If you're saying that I'm too fallen, then you have to stay. This is the hospital. This is where we get unfallen. You say, oh Prabhu, I'm too fallen to stay in the temple. If you would say, Prabhu, I see Krishna everywhere in everyone's heart and every atom. It's all right, then go wherever you want. Actually, there's one purport in the Dhruva Maharaj pastime where Narad Muni, he tells Dhruva Maharaj that you go to Madhuban. So Prabhupada in the purport, he says, if one is not very advanced in devotional service, he is advised to go to a place like Hardwar, or Rishikesh, Mathura, Mayapur, or Vrindavan. But one who is very advanced in devotional service like Narad Muni, he can go anywhere. So when I read that, then I understood why I stay in Vrindavan, because I'm too fallen to make it anywhere else. You are all very great souls to stay in this hellish place, London. And execute devotional service. I'm too fallen, I have to stay in Vrindavan. I'm not very advanced in devotional service. He says, unless one is very advanced, then he should stay in a holy place like Mayapur, Vrindavan.